Hey everybody, welcome back to the garden. It's been a while since I made a like an update video here. I'm going to show you around, show you what's going on and how things are growing, and see what things look like in here. It's been a pretty great season so far. It's been a good mixture of warmth and sunlight and heat, and also a few periods of rain, which cuts down on work for me, which is awesome. So have a look around, check it out. So this is my squash bed, and it's been going good so far. I made a little bit of a mistake, which I should have anticipated, but I didn't. And that mistake was that I let these plants grow a little bit too big inside before I put them out. And they've been out for like a month or so now, but what happened is that the plant thought it was mature, so it's putting out flowers here now. So I've just been picking those off in hopes to encourage the plant to continue growing the vines and then puts out squash later in the season. So I think I'm gonna have luck with that. I've done that last year as well, so should be all right. And in amongst all of this stuff, I planted some of these guys. I can't even remember what they are, but I believe they're some kind of radish, like a daikon radish. And I think they're actually the purple ones because the leaves and stuff look pretty purple on them. So time will tell. And I also planted some beans in here as well. I think these are called dragon's breath. They're like a bush bean, and anyway, we'll see what they look like later on in the fall, but they're like a purple striped bean. So, and I got these carrots here as well. I had a lot of issues trying to germinate carrots, which I'll show you in the other bed across the garden there. But so yeah, it was I think it was more of a moisture issue than anything, because carrot seeds apparently need to be pretty consistently moist, and I don't think I was doing a very good job of that. So what I ended up doing was bringing in some wooden boards, and you can kind of see how this is a little bit flat here. So I brought the boards in, watered the soil, put the seeds down, covered them over with the boards in order to trap the moisture from being evaporated on the hot days. And then now they're finally coming up. Got some more right here. Some more squash. And this is the new bed that you see me make. So this is just pure compost here. So I've got some beans over here in this row. And these are, I believe, the Japanese Hakure turnips, which are deadly eating, really great flavor. I believe they're right here as well. So these ones will be done before the other ones. So my hope is to have like a succession type of situation going. And I also got some Swiss chard here as well. And then these are also beans, which are doing excellent. And all this stuff here is all mulch that I put down. Those are all grass clippings, just to keep some of the soil some of the moisture in the soil there, which is great in the summertime when things dry out, which they have been. So it's a little thing I did last year, and I'm going to continue doing that going forward because it cuts down on the amount of time I have to spend watering everything. And this is a bed that you see me plant a few videos back. I think I had onions in the furthest row over here, right here, but they didn't really work out. So I knew that they weren't going to work out, so I just took them up and put this tomato here, which is actually flowering. You can see the flowers starting to form. I also put carrot seed in this little part here, and that's all coming up now as well. And these are beet plants, so you can see down here the beet are starting to form. Looks like something is chewing on this in the evenings. And this is also Swiss chard here, which I'm going to take a harvest of some of the outer leaves. And this is the onion bed here, which you also see me plant back a couple of videos ago, back in May, I believe I did that. And these are going great. These were all started from seeds as well. So I brought these in and put them down as you've seen in the videos. And they're doing awesome. There's actually I planted 3 or 4 together in these little rows, so that when the time comes when they start bulbing up, they'll push each other aside, and then the bulb will come up and have a harvest. So you might not, I'm not going to get like onions the size of that rock or anything, but I'll get a couple of like probably onions this size, which will be excellent. And this is the rows here that I had trouble germinating the carrots, so you can see that they're coming up here now finally. I had to replant all this, so in the video back in May you see me sow all these seeds here, and then none of them came up. Might have been a moisture issue, and they might have gotten washed away in the rain, which is also likely. So I sowed them all again, and then there were still patches in between. Like right here, this long patch here, there's nothing growing up here. So I replanted seeds the other day. So we'll see, they'll be a bit slower coming up, but they'll still come up and we'll get a harvest in the fall. So I'm happy with that. With my apple tree here, which is doing excellent. I planted this last year and it was a whip. And this branch has grown, I don't know if you can see where my fingers are, but it's grown like, I don't know, 7 inches so far this season, which is insane. And this branch here is all new growth this season, which is excellent. So, and the idea here with the clothespins is to make sure that the branch comes out, grows out this way, instead of growing like straight up like this. And then eventually when they come out and get big enough, I'll tie them down so that in the future the branches are going to come out and then come up and have more of like a bulb type of setting around the plant, which will hopefully, apparently, to according to the sources, increase productivity. And so we'll see we'll see how that goes. And these are valerian plants, some like a medicinal herb. It looks awesome. I don't know if I can get that focused, but it's a cool looking flower. And this is a bit of a chaos bed. There's rows of onions and stuff here underneath this mesh. And these are random potato plants. And you can see one here as well going to flower that were in the bed from last year and they just popped up, so I just let them grow. I had a row of bok choy right here, which I got a couple of harvests off of, but this is not the ideal place to grow bok choy now that I've had some experience. Because what happens is it's more of a cool weather plant and it's basically getting direct sunlight here all the time. So I just went to flower really early, so I don't think I'm gonna grow that in here anymore. This is another potato plant right here. So this is doing great. There's some broccoli here as well. Look at that thing, that's awesome. Looking good. This is a heat resistant variety called Gypsy, and this has been doing great, and hopefully maybe another week or so I can harvest that. And here's another bed as well. I got onions interplanted amongst all this, as you can see, and heads in various states. And this worked out really well. I tried the broccoli before and it didn't work. Well, it worked out okay somewhat because I got a couple of heads, but what happened was during this time of the growth, a lot of moths came around. I think they're called cabbage moths, little white flying moths, and they lay eggs underneath the leaves, and then they turn into small caterpillars, and then they love eating the heads of broccoli. So everything looked fine until one day there was a hole in the crown of the broccoli. So this year I've been using this mesh which you saw over in that bed, and no problems with anything, and the plants look super healthy, which you can see here, which is kind of awesome. And this is my tomato bed here. These guys are doing great, and they're also starting to flower here as well. So we'll have tomatoes soon, another month or so. This bed's doing fantastic. And right here is all my garlic, which was half of what I had initially hoped to plant last year. But it is what it is, and we're going to be planting a lot more this fall for next year's harvest, which will come from this bed. I'll save these and plant them. You can see here they're going to, they're putting out these garlic scapes here, which if I didn't remove this from the plant, would turn into a flower, and then you'd get like actual seeds for planting garlic from that, but no one does that. But what people do, let them grow up like this and then cut them off, and then you can saute those up, stir fry them. Another week or two I'll be doing that, and apparently that's the signal that the plant has begun the bulbing process. Like I said, it's the end of June now, and end of July, maybe early August, I'll harvest all this. And in the meantime, I've got a bunch of plants started at home as well, a bunch of like purple cauliflowers. The broccoli that's here, that's gonna come up in probably 2 or 3 weeks. And then that space I'm gonna put a bunch of beet in for like a fall harvest, which I've also got started. So that'll be all filled with beet. And this bed in the fall, the end of July, early August, I'll harvest these onions, and then all these rows here, I'll have broccoli seedlings started. They'll probably be like a month, maybe 6 weeks old. And then when I take all this up, I'm gonna pop the broccoli in here for a fall harvest of broccoli as well, and I'll just freeze all that stuff. So very impressed with the season so far. It's been awesome. Haven't had no real nutrient issues or pest issues or anything. I think I've had a couple of rabbits in here. I've got a couple of trail cameras in here set up, and every couple of nights there's rabbits like running around here. I'll probably put a video of that in this video. There's also a couple of coyotes I've seen in here. So there's lots of activity going on in the garden here. It's pretty great. And there was a family of northern flickers over in a tree right here that you can't really see. And I'm pretty sure that they're gone now. They've fledged. Pretty sure I just seen them up on the trail here, so they're probably still in this area here. Until the the young birds get a little bit bigger and can travel on their own. But and all this stuff coming along here is planted some yarrow and echinacea in amongst all this, and then these are raspberries planted here as well. And those are looking good. That's not going to amount to much this year, but they'll spread. And next year, the runners will come throughout all these beds, and then this will just all fill in with raspberries. And I also got some like sunflowers and stuff growing up here. Just directly seeded them into the soil. Sunflowers and marigolds and stuff. And this thing has been impressive. This is a hardy kiwi plant which survived the winter. I got two planted. I got one right here, and I've got another one over that way. And that one is still alive and green, but I don't think it gets enough sun in the early part of the day. This one is more open to the sun, so it gets light a little bit earlier. And that one over there isn't doing great, but this one here is doing excellent, as you can see. So it's been vining up here throughout my fence, and it's starting to like wrap around here and spread out. So hopefully it does what it's supposed to and vines out all along this fence here. Another couple of years we'll have kiwis, which is very cool. And this is a cherry tree that my friend gave me that came from his parents' property, which has been doing excellent this year. I trimmed up all the dead branches off of it, and like that part right here, that's all new growth for this year. Very cool, very thankful for that. What a cool gift. And I got a feeling one of those guys are watching this, so thanks. And this is my other apple tree over here with a bunch of valerian planted around it, which is actually taller than the apple tree. And this tree is coming along really nice. The branches are branching out, really good growth. Some strawberries and stuff down here in the shadows, putting out runners already, which is my hope, so that these runners will go and populate this whole area here. I'm gonna put another bed right here. That's gonna be happening probably within the week, maybe next weekend. And valerian all along the back here. I planted other stuff as well, like hyssop and a couple of echinacea plants and stuff, but I don't think they made it through the winter, unfortunately. So valerian seems to work really well here. And these plants are super tall, super strong. This one is like as tall as I am, which is pretty cool. And in amongst that, I've got raspberries coming up. There's a raspberry plant there. And that's one of the runners coming out. Some thyme that I harvested last week. And there's some oregano over there. And there's more oregano right there. So my plan is to just let this go wild and let the oregano is going to take off and like become huge, which is great. I harvested that and I got it dried out. So I'll have like dried oregano forever. And I'm probably going to get some more herbs and stuff in along here. I'm pretty limited to what I can grow as a perennial herb because we're still fairly northern climate. Whatever I can get, I'll grow. A lot of peppermints and stuff do well, but I don't want to plant them in the garden because they are pretty invasive and stuff. So I think I'm going to get some pots and plant them around. There's a giant hosta that was gifted to me by my aunt, which hasn't been in the ground yet, but is just living there for now until I get some time and effort put into putting it somewhere. And this is doing excellent. This cracked off actually in the spring. I cut it off right there because this was as tall as that one over there. And which actually I should have chopped that one down too to let it grow the same, because this really took off and like put out these side shoots here. Yeah, this is an elderberry plant. Also can be used, as medicinal. That's really cool. Really impressed with that. That's awesome. And this is the other one that I have, which there's a lot of top growth here on it, which is also very impressive. That's all new growth for this year right here, this whole branch. And that's just in like a month and a half of growing. And you can see now that there's actually flowers. Oh, I'm in the shade. The flowers are starting to form here as well, which is pretty cool. So all in all, things are good. So anyway, it's a fairly quick video here today. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching, listening to me ramble on about my plants. You know, I'm doing it for me anyway, so if you enjoyed this, that's excellent. And thanks for watching. So I'm really impressed with the way things are going, and we'll see what the future holds. Thanks everybody for watching, and hope you continue to watch, and you know, like and subscribe and all that kind of cool stuff. And we'll see you again in the future.